Okay, so schedule starts next week, he said. I'm preparing ahead of time. Let's see what to talk about. Hmm. Um, let's talk about school. So, we're all a group of friends here in this channel. We all know each other IRL. We go to school together. We have same classes together and whatnot. So we have a lot of jokes that go on between us. So let's see. My name, my channel name. My channel name is It's K Gaming. 2 underscores. It's underscore K underscore gaming. Where that name came from was a while back. I went back to school, and my friend Morgan, he starts saying, "Oh, it's K, it's K," and so I'm like, okay, and so he uses this for a while, like a few months or so, and this goes on and on until we all stop saying it, and then just recently, I started using it commonly, like almost every day now. So I was like, oh well, since I say this so much, I might as well use it for my main channel. So there's that. We have this teacher named Mr. Holden, and everyone picks on him. He's the most patient man you'll ever meet. He puts up with so much stuff. 6 periods a day, everyone picks on him. Like, one time, I put not string cheese, spray cheese in his coffee, right? And he drinks coffee, and a lot of coffee. And I mean by a lot, like, probably at least 100 cups a day. That's probably overestimating, but I don't care. It's probably true anyway. So, I get to class, I'm having a health problem at the time, and I can only eat spray cheese apparently. So that's going on, and I see his coffee cup, and I'm like, oh, I can do something with this. So I'm like, I sneak up really stealth, like ninja, and like I pull the cheese out of my bag, and I'm like, oh, oh. And so I spray it in there, and he looks in, and I thought that it sunk to the bottom and stayed there. He looks in, he's like, and I saw a little bit of a soul die inside him that day. And he looks at me, and he's like, and he kind of scowls at me. I'm like, oh, oh. And so he's talking, and he looks at me. He's like, I would yell at you right now, but I have a cold. And so I'm like, oh, oh. And everyone's looking at me like I did the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, what? And Morgan's like, oh, you're done. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're done. It's K though. And I was like, it's not K, piece of goddamn shit. So there's that. There's this guy named Cole. He's in the group too. He he's the worst out of all of us. He's currently he's in, I think he said Georgia. So there's that. And he was always messing with them. His last request was to play the movie Into the Wild, because we were reading that book, and it's not like child's book Into the Wild. It's Into the Wild with I think his name was like Alex Supertramp or something like that, and he was like, oh, my last request is I want to watch that movie before I leave, and I'm like, Mr. Holden, you have to grant the request. You have to grant the request. So he was like, no, and I was like, oh, Mr. Holden, it's his last request. He's like, I don't care. And I was like, oh, damn, dude, Mr. Holden is he's pretty cold, stone cold savage. And so the next day before Cole leaves, he's grabbing a bunch of random things. Like, he grabbed a chair, and then he grabbed Mr. Holden's tissue box, his coffee cup, And then he grabbed like his folder and all that. I'm like, oh, Cole, you can't take that much stuff. You can only take his coffee cup. He uses that the most. And so he grabs his coffee cup and puts everything back. And then Mr. Holden's like, you make my coffee. You make my coffee cup. So, yeah, and really, and like when he doesn't say anything. He's just like waves his hand. He's like, oh, oh, and he's like, oh, go take a seat, or give me back my coffee cup, or something like that. And I'm like, Mr. Holden, what are you doing? Please. So yeah, you got a little insight to what our English class is like. Last year it was even worse. Me, Devin, and Morgan all had a class together, Mr. Holden's, and it was chaos. We had this kid named Steven. He was the most random guy in the world. But we all sat in the back, and we had books, right? And we would have the books, but we would draw like dicks in the book, or we would draw dicks in Morgan's notebook, and he would be like, and we had this thing called Busch Gardens going, and it was the worst. Like, we even made it more fucked up with orphan children and mom, and she's taking us to Busch Gardens and whatnot, and so, yep, that was that. Mr. Holden, this year we asked him how many dicks we found in those books we read last year, and he was like, at least a good 2 dozen. And I'm like, oh, 24 dicks, Jesus Christ. But it was okay. It was okay. He got enjoyment out of it. He acted like he didn't, but he did. But yeah. I just thought I'd lighten the mood a little bit. You know, my last 2 videos were kind of serious, so there's that. You know, I'm planning ahead. Got 2 videos already for Friday and Sunday, so there's that. That's about it, I think. Leave a like if you enjoyed this story. Comment if you have anything, you know. Just put random bullshit, whatever you think. Just first thing that comes to your mind. That's what I want to know. And yeah, well, this was Brian vlog number 3. And I'll see you guys again next time. All right, see you later.